Hi everyone. So I'm going to show you a run through of my one of my newest add-ons, which is Magic Calendar. So if we go to extensions and Magic Calendar and we run for the first time, we're obviously going to get the sort of authorization come through, and it says it's now enabled, and we've got this new sidebar loaded. What it's also done is added calendar events for us, and this is what we're going to use to manage our calendar events. Sheet one we can use or we can get rid of. It depends if we need it. I'll get rid of that because I don't need it. And I've got calendar events now. Column A happens automatically and column B happens automatically, so you do not need to fill those in. Calendar ID is your email address generally. You can create other calendars and they will have specific IDs. However, for just basics to start with, um, we're going to use just an email address as a calendar ID. Okay. Then you can obviously, if you've got a load of events, you can drag that down. You don't have to type out every time. Then we can put in some dates. Now, I think I'm going to use UK format. It should work in any format. Okay, it should be able to figure that out itself. So if I just do that, we'll just do that for now. End dates you can either leave blank and it will just be that date. Okay, or if it's over a period of time, you can have an end date. All right, so we'll do a few different ones here. Let's copy that. It's just the same. Let's copy that, but change it for a few days. So that one can be like 3 days. I'll leave the rest the same. I'll do some different things here. So all day event, you need to type yes or no. Okay, if you don't, you can have, if you can type yes. If you leave it blank, it will just default to no. Okay, but so you don't actually have to put no. You can just put yes. So let's do a few different ones. Let's put yes there. If you were to put, like I just did there, something like that, that would default to no as well. Okay, so just check that, or change that to yes as well. So we've got some start all day events. In fact, I might add a couple more all day events because they're easier and I don't have to do the timings then. So if we add those as all day events, now we need to do some timing. So we've got start time and we do need a finish time. Otherwise, it would be a zero event. So let's do a start time on this one and we do this in time. So 24-hour clock. Let's do 14. So 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and then let's do. Don't need to do for that one. We need one here. Let's do 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. and one more to do. So let's do. I don't know. Let's do 21 to 23. Okay, so then we've got that. Then we need titles. Okay, so what the event's going to be called? I'm going to call it test 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So I'm going to drag that one down, and now I've got all these events ready to go. Incident descriptions, you can add descriptions. I don't need to. Locations, you can add that. I don't need to. I'm going to leave that blank. Okay, so I'm ready to add these to my calendar. I've got calendar here. This is my calendar. As I mentioned earlier, you can create calendars. So if I was to add a calendar, so if I was to create a new calendar, and I call this example test, and it's this got my time zone, and I create my calendar. So I've got this example calendar. If I want to add to that calendar, you have to do it slightly differently. So if I go back out of settings, where's my calendar? The example test is there. And if I want to use this one, if I go to sharing in settings of this one, okay, you need the ID for that calendar, which you'll find here. So this calendar ID is there. So if I copy that, I'm going to add this one in as well. So I'm going to add this one in. I'm going to add an all-day event to that. Let's just literally copy that one. But then we will call it something else. Let's call it test 9. And let's call this extra calendar, just so we know the difference. So what we do, we'll press create events, and if we go along here, you can see the Y's going in. Okay, so we've now got Y's and all of these. It should have created all of the events. So what we then need to do, go to calendar, go back here. That's me to think. Oh, and you can see you got test 1, 2, 3 all in. So the first one was the 5th. We go back, we see the first one's the 5th, 6th, 7th. We should have one every single day. So we go like on here, and we've got our test 4 was a multi-day, dates. We've got our test 3 was at 8 till. So if we go back, Test 3 was 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then Test 5 was all day. We have lost Test 6. So let's have a look at what Test 6 was. Where's Test 6? Test 6 was a night time on the 10th at 9 o'clock. So there's Test 6 there. So we got that look, 7, 8. And you see number 9 is a different color because it's in another calendar. Okay, so that's essentially what the app does and allows you to manage all your events you want. You can also change them. So if we say actually test 1, actually, let's do test 8 because I'm on that screen. More info, add more info into there. Extra calendar, more info. Actually, the time of that one is wrong. I'm going to change that to start now at 8 o'clock. But carry on to 11. I'm going to convert let's convert something to an all-day event. So actually, this one, let's convert it to an all-day event. We don't have to technically we'd have to delete the times, but we would. So let's get test 3 should change to an all-day event. So we press update events now. What it does, it goes through every single event in your worksheet and checks it. And if it's different, it will change it. Okay, so it doesn't matter which one you've done, it should check them all and change them all. So 7th should now be an all-day event. So if we go back to the 7th, we now have an all-day event, which is perfect. Was it test 3? Yes, it was. Cool, so that worked fine. This one we changed, so test 6 should now start at 8 o'clock. So let's go forward to test 6, scroll down, now starts at 8. What else did we change? These ones should have more info added. More info added. Okay, so that's all worked beautifully. All right, so that is in essence what Magic Calendar does. You can have multiple events. There would be a technical limit on the number you could have. However, I'd be very surprised if you met it because it does run incredibly fast. So you shouldn't run into any runtime errors. The other thing I want to talk about, I will come to the Google form in just a second, but I want to talk about automatic updates. So at the moment, the way we've set this up is you press create events to create any new events, and you press update events to make changes. It was all done manually. However, it has the functionality built in to do it automatically, and this will run every hour. So if you do some updates within an hour, it will have updated on the calendar. And automatically without pressing the button. So if you've got people working on your calendars, you don't need to teach them how to use this. It can just happen automatically if they're making edits to the spreadsheet. So you tick it for this one. It works the same with the Google form one, but we'll just start with this one and we set automatic updates, which means it will turn the on to do it once an hour. Now, if you close the sidebar and you load it up again, Magic Calendar, that checkbox will already be ticked, showing that it's already enabled, okay? And that one isn't. If you want to turn it off, you untick it, set automatic updates, that gets rid of it, okay? So that's no longer doing automatic updates, and if we were to close the menu, load it up again, it would no longer be, it wouldn't tick again, it would stay unticked, meaning it's not set, okay? But that's really useful as well for lots of different reasons, but it is a thing you have to turn on or turn off just by using that button, okay? So the Google Form worksheet now is slightly different, but you use this to, instead of having this worksheet calendar events that you manage and you update, you may wish to use a Google Form to do the update. So if we press generate a Google Form, it will automatically create a brand new worksheet for form responses, but it will call it calendar form. It will generate the Google form and it will even give you a link. So if I copy that link to the form, so if I go to the form and paste, you'll see the form here, calendar ID of what you're putting in, and then it gives you the option start date, end date, all day event, etc. Let's actually just do this properly, and I'll show you where the calendar is saved as well. So if we do info at notsoMagicApps.com, let's choose a date. So let's choose the 6th, end date the 7th, all day event, yes. So let's call this Google Form Test. Leave the rest blank and we'll submit that there. So that's now gone in. All right, so we can close that now. Right, and then what we can do is if we go to calendar form, we'll see that our new entry's already gone in. And then we can go up to the calendar. And if we go back to the section, you see Google Form Test is there. Okay, so as calendar people fill in the form, it automatically goes into here. And you can share that form link with anyone as long as they get the calendar ID right. it will work because it's your account that's adding to it. So it's your account that's authorized. So as long as it's an ID you have access to, anyone can fill it in. So it's a way of restricting it. So if you don't want people having access to this, you want to give them a form to add events for whatever reason, this is the way to do it. And just so you know as well, that form, you should be able to, you can go manage form and sort of like go to edit form or go live form from the Google Sheet because it's now added it. Equally, wherever it's stored in your My Drive, so that was my Google Sheet, it's put the calendar, the form there as well. So if this file was in a folder somewhere, this would be generated next to it. So you always have access to it. Is like a normal Google form linked to a Google Sheet like this. Okay, so same thing happens with the sort of updates as well. You can edit this. So if you realize there's a mistake, you can edit it. Okay, so I think that's basically it for Magic Calendar. It's still kind of new. There's always a chance there's a mistake. I'm working on getting it to work, whether you're in the US, the UK, and dates will be a bit tricky like that. So it is one of those things. Is working brilliantly for most people, but do let me know if you have any problems, and I will try and get it working as smoothly as possible, as quick as I can. All right, thanks very much, everyone.